This is Susan Bassey, and today was a very important day in California's history because 4 years after Californians legalized marijuana, the Santa Clara County District Attorney, the Public Defender, and Judge Eric Geffen expunged 11,000 marijuana-related convictions from the records of residents and Californians across the state who had been prosecuted in Santa Clara County. And while those issues were important to address, and they will be covered by mainstream media, I thought you would want to see what it means to be a journalist in this county and what it means to have a seat at the table. And I want to thank Judge Eric Geffen for granting my media request and giving me a seat at that table alongside of CBS and the San Jose Mercury News.
I guess he thinks that it doesn't apply to him. Guys, Public Defender's Office?
Yeah.
You guys rocked the other day when you went out and did those care packages for the homeless.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to give you a lot of publicity for that. And don't touch the doors. Open it that way. Or get gloves. Dang it.
You have to shut off your equipment in here.
That we've been able to get to this point where the people deserving of this relief will be able to get it so effectively. What's important about what we're doing today is that when a judge signs an order, as I'm going to do today, that order is great, but unless it gets updated to the many databases that are necessary to actually clear a record, it really doesn't do the person very much good. And the amount of work that's gone in on behalf of all of the parties to make sure that these orders are immediately and instantly updated so that people who are applying for work, housing, or credit of any kind are able to do so without these convictions standing in the way is a testament to the hard work of all of our justice partners. So I want to thank everyone for the time and the effort they put into this. I'd like to turn the floor over to Mr. Rosen if there's anything you'd like to add on behalf of the District Attorney's Office.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to echo some of the remarks you made. When this proposition was passed, there was a lot of interest, and certainly there was a feeling that perhaps these marijuana convictions would be somehow automatically expunged, and that wasn't the case. And we saw all around the state that it was quite a cumbersome process. And of course, even if our court was operating at 100% capacity, the idea of having more than 9,000 orders or 9,000 court hearings to be brought before you, that's all we would be doing for several years. So we realized that there needed to be a way to use technology to be able to automatically expunge the records from the databases. And you know, we're here in the heart of Silicon Valley, and sometimes the technology represents an important value. And the value that we had in the District Attorney's Office is we don't want to just say that these convictions are expunged, and then it turns out that 6 months later, they're actually not out of all the databases, because other than our county, every other county that's done any kind of expungement relies on the state to manually expunge each one of these records, which means months and months. So we believed it was very important to, if we say that someone's record has been expunged, it has to mean that, so that this will not inhibit or make it more difficult for a person to get a job, to get housing, to get certain kinds of financial assistance from the government. So here the technology really was important to make it so that the value of really expunging these convictions would happen. And it took several months to do this because there are several different databases that we're working with. Some are local, some are run by the state. And we also, as companies who write software and introduce new technologies, once you write new software, as we did, then you try it out and you practice it. And we saw that there were different bugs and different glitches to fix. And so we went through all of those different processes to get where we are today. We're very pleased that we were able to work so collaboratively with the Public Defender's Office in this important project, and of course with the court as well. And so we're happy that we're here, and we're very, it's a good day for people that have wanted their convictions expunged. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rosen. Mr. Portman, anything you want to add from the Public Defender's Office?
Just wanted to make a few brief remarks to highlight the importance of this occasion, what it means for our clients and for the many petitioners who are getting relief today. Long before California passed Proposition 64, the use of marijuana had been widely socially accepted in the state. But it was still a crime, and people were still incarcerated for marijuana offenses, and most importantly for today, those criminal convictions were still haunting them. This was an injustice that was felt even most disproportionately by communities of color. And the orders that the court is signing here today are going to go a long way towards righting that injustice. Proposition 64 made it possible for people to petition to have their records cleared, and by doing so, remove barriers to education, to employment, and to student loans. Requests for reductions or dismissals were successful in this county in almost every case, but the process of doing this case by case was going to take decades. Now, in my experience, while working on Proposition 64, I spoke with hundreds of people who were seeking the relief that this court is granting today. And so, for some of these people, their convictions were as much as 50 years old. Many of these people have been waiting years to remove from their record a criminal conviction that was for conduct which has long since become socially accepted. With Proposition 64, the law in California finally caught up to where public opinion was on the use of marijuana. And today, our legal system has finally taken that last step in ensuring that that relief is going to be granted to everyone who's eligible for it. For that, we thank you.
All right, I do think it is important to note that for as long as I've been involved in the criminal justice system as both a lawyer and a judge, record clearances were done manually. And that is something that when you have a large number of people who are eligible as Prop 64 dictates, that's a process that would have denied the practical relief to thousands of people for months and not, if not years. And so I think that the efforts that have been made in order to do this in a way that makes it much more instantaneous is a huge benefit to those people who are going to be receiving this relief, and frankly will be technology that will help us as we move forward in lots of other areas where things that have been done manually can now be done on a more automated basis. So I think this is something that will benefit us greatly as a system moving forward, and it really is completely the result of the collaboration of all the parties, and I'm very proud that we're here today to be able to do that. Mr. Bucklew, you have the technical orders that need to be signed.
I do. Thank you, Your Honor. And thank you again for your remarks, everybody, and your cooperation and participation in this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, what I have in front of me are 4 separate notices and petitions. The first notice is a motion to dismiss and seal pursuant to Health and Safety Code sections 11361.9 and 11361.8. That deals with all the health and safety 11357 matters, the simple possession. That's the first one.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, the next 3 are all notice and petitions to reduce pursuant to Health and Safety Code sections 11361.9 and 11361.8. And these deal with the offenses of HMS 11358, 11359, and 11360 respectively.
Thank you.
Okay.
Step on the X right there.
Oh, okay. Brian, why don't you stand next to me? I'm going to take this off.
Yeah.
Okay, you had a question?
Yes, I wanted to make almost repeating what you said out there, but
Sure.
what is it that you have to say today about this momentous occasion?
We're very pleased to announce that just a few moments ago, we expunged more than 10,000 marijuana convictions for more than 9,000 individual Santa Clara County residents. And when I say that we expunge them, it means that instantaneously all of these convictions were removed from the different local and statewide databases. This is the first time in this state that an expungement of this magnitude, home of technology, that we will write software code, which took a while to write, to then instantaneously remove these convictions from all of the different databases. So we wrote the code, then we tested it, we saw different glitches in it, we wrote new code, we tested it again, to eventually get to the point today where we could provide this relief to thousands and thousands of Santa Clara County residents. And I think what's so important about this relief, particularly now, is it's one fewer obstacle that remains for someone to get a job or to get housing or to get different kinds of assistance. And it's really something that couldn't have been done without terrific collaboration with our public defender's office and our court, and of course having really good information technology people in our office, as well as Brian Buckaloo, who supervised our narcotics team. And if you saw the reams of paper of all of the names of the individuals in all of the cases, it's about several inches tall. So we're very pleased to have done this. And I think the other thing that was very important to us is that if we say that the conviction is expunged, that it's really expunged, and not to give people false hope that they think their conviction has been expunged and then they apply to live in an apartment or to get a job and it shows up on a criminal record. These convictions that we expunge today will be gone immediately.
I heard there were 4 orders. The first one was possession. What were those 3 other numbers you were talking about?
So possession, cultivation, possession for sale, and sale. It's the 4 major categories of offenses that qualify.
Okay, and then
Sure. So I presented the court with 4 different petitions. Each of the 4 petitions represented a certain kind of marijuana offense: possession, cultivation, possession for sale, and sales.
so all these people are out of jail. It's just that their records are in there.
Yeah, these convictions that have been expunged, people are not in jail, but they still have these on the record. And the other thing I should add about the technology that we created, the software that we wrote, is if you can expunge marijuana convictions instantaneously, then we can expunge all other kinds of convictions instantaneously as well. So often when someone is convicted of, say, a misdemeanor offense, after they successfully serve their sentence and complete probation, they're eligible to have that conviction expunged. And this technology is one that will enable us to instantaneously expunge those convictions as well. So we think about this as a highway that we built to help us quickly expunge marijuana convictions, but it's a highway that we can use to expunge other kinds of convictions to provide relief for people. We very much believe in the DA's office and holding people accountable, but when someone has served their sentence and is ready to re-enter the society, we want to remove as many barriers as we can to enable them to successfully reintegrate into society, and removing these old convictions and things that can be expunged is one way to do that.
And Mr. Rosen, who was it that you used to write the code for the
We wrote it
expungement?
ourselves.
And individual people inside the DA's office were hired to do that?
No, we were able to write this code without any additional expense to taxpayers. We have a fantastic information technology team in the DA's office. They're very hardworking and motivated, and we gave them this project, and they got it done quickly and with no expense.
gets rid of off your guys' databases? Is there any way to get it out of other systems that maybe, I know computers talk to each other and they go to other databases?
Well, the databases that we're removing this from are the local criminal offender databases, which then feed into the statewide criminal criminal database, and so this will remove it from all of those databases, and then it will shortly be removed from the court's internal databases as well. So it's a good way to give someone that fresh start. I mean, the idea is your conviction's expunged, either you've successfully completed probation or the law changed and marijuana possession or sales is no longer a crime, and so how can we wipe the record clean? And this was the way to do that. So we're very happy for this day.
So
Are
is
you
that
guys the
code-
first?
Yes, absolutely the
state.
first to do it this way, yes.
And is the code that your internal department wrote, would that be a public record that other coders could be able to
I don't
get?
know, but thank you very much.
Look, so can I get your name and spelling?
Oh, sure. It's Brian Buckelew, BrianBuckelew. I'm the supervising deputy district attorney for the narcotics unit of the DA's office.
Dynamite.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
You got it.
I check with you.
Thank you.
Because I asked a public records question. Sorry, guys.
And it should come as no surprise to any of you that today just proved to be one more public records request where I'm going to be watchdogging our district attorney. I'm going to want to know how much public resources was spent on coding for this project for Mr. Rosen that he appears to want to take credit for. And I'm also going to make a personal plea to Mr. Rosen as a mother and as a grandmother, and that is to please wear a mask and not risk infecting journalists with the coronavirus. Because all of us have given up our vanity, our makeup, our hairstyles, and anything else. And now in our new normal, as we work to bring information to the public, we don't deserve to be threatened with worrying about our health as well. And so if I can teach this young dad outside the criminal courthouse how to put a mask on his toddler, then Mr. Rosen certainly can use a mask himself when he's dealing with my associates, whether they be from mainstream media or social media. And I'd like to give a special shout out to one of my associates who's a criminal defense attorney as well as a journalist, because those attorneys are usually some of the best. And today was a day that Joe Tolley and others like him knew was long overdue. And Jeff Rosen, please, next time you do a press conference, wear your mask.